Well, it's been a few decades since the last time a Roland gift surprised me. But the Roland gift that's driving me crazy, you see, I do actually think about these things before I say them, however bad the joke is or not. The Roland gift that is driving me crazy is the new V2 update for the SH-4d. And if you know this channel, you know I've got a soft spot for this, especially as it gained me an honorary membership of the Detroit Techno Club. And I know I mentioned that a couple of weeks ago in my OP1 field demo, but I'll never get tired of bringing it up. Anyway, the new version 2 software brings us 2 new synth engines, pattern chaining, micro timing, quick saving. That doesn't sound like a big deal, actually saves you loads of time, and the buttons have become like a QWERTY keypad as well for changing names. And this is just a quick demo I made using both 2 new synth engines, the pattern chaining and some micro timing, and I saved it all with the quick save function. Plus it's got a few other little things in there. So we'll start off by taking a look at these synth voices. Here we've got all the standard voices we're used to: SH-4d, 3D, Sync, SH-101, Juno 106, Cross FM, Ring Mod, Wavetable, Chord, Drawing, PCM. And if that's not enough, we've also got now Step, and we've got Harmonic. And as you can hear, Harmonic is essentially a drawbar organ. So here's your 4 drawbars, and numbers 1 and 4, you can change the harmonics on them. So number 1 on its own. And like a drawbar, you pull it down to increase the volume. So let's have a little play within that, but of course we've got this section to play on top of that as well, so add some release and some attack. So yeah, you still got access to all these parameters over here. Let's turn that into something, I don't know, a bit more punchy maybe. That's nice. Oh, hello. So as I say, lots to play with in there. And if we go into the sounds themselves, let's go to the next model. In harmonic, there's a few in there already for you. There's 17, Misty Pad. Let's load that one. Enter. Here, there's some panning on this. We do have access to other parameters on here as well. That's the pan mod amount. We hold shift. That's the pan mod rate. Actually goes into FM territory, doesn't it? Plenty to play with in there, full rotary. So yeah, organs and things based on those harmonics, which are nice bell tones and pads like you've heard there. The oscillator settings here are pretty simple. There's just the mod rate, and that's what we can access via the timbre mod anyway. So that's the mod amount and the mod rate. So 987, enter 987. So coming to the next model, let's go to sound, over to the step, and then let's load this one. Let's increase the speed of this pattern. That's better. You can see here we've got a step sequencer. I'm not playing the sequencer, but we're getting different notes. So this step sequencer works well. We've got access to the filter here, filter amount, and pitch. But if we go to the settings on the synth engine, we've got all these things that you can see down here, so we can actually modulate the amplitude depth, the pan depth. We've got an LFO fade in there as well, so it doesn't come in automatically. Let's just try that in. Oh, it doesn't come in immediately. We've got this filter on here as well. So oscillator 1 and oscillator 2. This is a 2 oscillator synth. I'll show you how the synth works in a second. So we've got some settings for the different synth oscillators in there as well. Pulse width depth, PWM depth. That's PWM using this, not the LFO. And we've got a super saw as well. So I'll just show you what each of these little parameters does first. So let's come out of there. So we've got nothing playing there now. But on this we've got fader 1 is the value of the step, and we flick through the steps using the left and right buttons. We can also change the value with this. Fader 2 is oscillator 2 level. Fader 3 is the filter depth that we've seen, and fader 4 is the modulation rate, and that's either synced or unsynced. Down here we've got mono or poly mode. Poly or mono. This is the octave of oscillator 2. That's the level of oscillator 2. So there's loads of little things to play with, and to change those oscillators, obviously you can do everything in the settings, but we've got, let's turn oscillator 2 down. Oscillator 1's off at the minute. Back up the cutoff. There's a bit of modulation on there, but you get the idea. There's a sawtooth, square, triangle, so there's loads of starting points in here, just like a little synth, because obviously you still get access to all this like you do on all the engines. The super saw is quite cool, and noise. But we'll go back into the super saw, and then go into the settings maybe, and change the super saw detune amount. So that's not so super, and that's super duper. And we're not hearing the step doing anything because I've turned it all down. If we come out of there. Should really go back and put the values back. Maybe I'll do that just so that it doesn't sound too disgustingly out of tune for the rest of the demo. That's better, and I've used that tone actually as the basis for the demo of the pattern chaining, which is coming up in a minute. But I just thought I'd show you a few of the presets you've got in here because they are really quite cool. And you can hear there, I've not mentioned yet, is that we've got different curves on each of the steps. So we've got saws and ratchets on there, or ramps and ratchets. Some more ratchets, different amounts of ratcheting or number of ratchets in a step there. Cool little things in here. So let's go to the original one again, just because it's a bit simpler, so you can see you can hear what's happening better. We've got 37 different curves we can use on this. Curve 0 through to curve 36. So as I say, ramp up, ramp down, a couple of ratchets, 3 ratchets, 4 ratchets, ramping down again, but in a different sort of curve, so exponential, linear, logarithmic curves. peaks. If we slow this all down, this is going rather fast, isn't it, to hear what's happening there? So let's just slow that down. And obviously, if you go much slower, you can hear the differences between the exponential, the linear, and the logarithmic curves much more obviously. Here we go, nearly there. So there you go. Lots of different types of curves, up to 16 steps. You can modulate the amplitude, the panning, the filter, and the frequency. And you've got 2 oscillators with about 10 different waveforms on each of them. So yeah, another super little idea. And then the final one I wanted to show you was the pattern chaining. So I have here a pattern I have programmed. That tone may be immediately familiar. Actually, that little pad sound in there in number 4 is, let me just take what I was going to show you, which was the pattern chaining, take that off, go back to pattern 4, sorry, play it. I think it's tone 3, is it? Yeah, this is off harmonic. Sort of organ tone. Nice, isn't it? Anyway, that's not what we're showing you here. Let's go into the pattern. So shift and pattern. So pattern chain is off. We can put that on. And then we've got the pattern or the next pattern. So I'm on playing 4 here. Pattern 4. So the next pattern it will play will be 5. So if we start, it's playing 4. Now it's playing 5. And if we go into pattern 5, the next pattern is 1. So if we come out here, we're playing 1. Then 2, then 2 goes to 3. This plays for longer, this plays for 4 bars. So if we come in here, again, we can see the chain length. We've got a chain length setting for each of the patterns. That's the length of the rhythm part. So if the rhythm pattern's got 64 steps, it'll play 4 times 64 steps. That's 256 steps. So next pattern is the next, which will take us to number 4. Loading 4. 4 goes to the next pattern, which is 5. So yeah, you can change either specific to a specific pattern or to the next pattern. I forgot what this one was on now. I think it was 301, was it? Let's see how it was. So it'll just play this forevermore now. But it's nice because it's almost like a song mode because you can set the number of times something repeats and then where it's going to next. And one other thing I forgot I was going to mention was if you head there, I think it's on this pattern. Let's just take the pattern chaining off. No, it's not this pattern, it's pattern 1. Those hi-hats having, being out of time, they're deliberately out of time. I quite like that looseness. If we go into the rhythm pattern, where are we? Where's the hi-hats? There we go. So with these hi-hats here, if I hold on to that and go across past gate, we've got this sub-step. So the sub-step's where we put on the ratchets and the like. So that was 3, 2, 4. We can have it slopped by 10, 20, 30, 50%, up to 90%. So that's well late there. Let's put a sub on that, or a ratchet on this one. Well, let's try it so you can actually hear the hi-hat, shall we? I mentioned quick saving as well, didn't I? So if we go to Shift and write, we've got this quick overwrite. Press enter now and it just writes everything. If you want to save all the patches in that pattern, overwrite straight away. In fact, let's just do it. Enter. It's done it. It's just quicker than going to overwrite, enter, and then are you sure? Yes. And then other times you get asked if you want to change the name and stuff like that. Oh, changing the name as well. Okay, right. Let's go to write the pattern, enter. So if I press enter on that, we can now use this as a QWERTY keyboard. You can see the keys are lit in there. So if you can figure out what the keys are, which I haven't done yet, you can type in a lot quicker, but I'm going to exit that. We've now got up to 10 undos, not a single undo. So if we're going to the pattern, maybe let's write something. Stop. So obviously we can undo that. Well, let's try and record that again or something like that. And then let's go to part 3. Have we got anything on part 3? Let's try and record something on that. So let's undo both of those. So Shift, undo, pattern edit. So we've still got those hits that we put in there. So Shift, undo again. And they've gone. I won't bother doing it 10 times, but hopefully you get the idea. There are a few other little bits and bobs in here. If we come to the system settings, we've now got settings for the delay, chorus and reverb that don't change when you change the pattern. So system or pattern. Shift and press and hold puts the portamento on straight away. Let's exit there again. Portamento on or off, so really quick access to that now. There's also more MIDI settings in the menu as well. Again, enter, enter. More transmit settings, so you can pick exactly what it is you want to send from this. Oh, and another big one in here, if we come down to the USB mode, where is it? We can change the USB driver from vendor, to generic exit. Okay. Which means you can use it with iOS, so your iPhone or your iPad. I think that brings me to the end. I think I've mentioned everything, actually. It wasn't intended on mentioning everything, but I think I have, because, yeah, all really great little updates. So there you have it, a few more reasons to love the SH-4d. Well, I hope that was of some use to somebody somewhere. If it was, please do subscribe, ring the bell, join me over on Patreon, all that sort of stuff. Check out my starskycar.com website. Every little bit you can do to support the channel really does help. So thanks very much for staying to the very end, and I will see you next time.